Okay, welcome back. I've been looking into Upheaval
Asteroids
Dome.
are a potential danger.
I don't want to necessarily watch this, pardon me, sir. Um, really what I was thinking, I should probably just start this over, open this tab, talk to myself here a little bit as I do it before I stop recording. Drink a little bit of this. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so Upheaval Dome. If I remember right, this is Yellowstone. This is Bighorn Forest. This is the Devil's Tower. Not exactly, but in terms of GPS positioning. That one's too small to really be in this, although maybe it's related to these mountains underground. I don't know. Oh my god. Right here. I keep, like, being like, it can't be. It can't be. It can't be. And then I come look around and I'm like, okay, let's go over here. Recently, I've been considering this region where there's a like a particle type thing with a magnetic field type thing, and then it has these like it looks kind of like an angel, so I mapped it like an angel here with an outer ring, generally speaking, not like exactly, but then also with this like upward thing going on. So there's that coupled with the Australian ammonite here, which I've drawn in many ways. If you want to look at it, I'm going to move on, so pause the video. I guess I should move myself first off of it. Okay, okay. But then there's maybe this, just in general, the ammonite itself. Here's Australia, it's like the point of it, and down here, this is southeast, southwest, up this way. It's hard to see, I know. But here, there's many, many, like, big things of these structures with magnetic field looking things going on. I assume this is also that. Yeah, I don't know why I say that twice. But then there's... So I did this where I specifically circled in the video. I think it's the video Wheel of Time, I guess. Yeah, the Wheel of Time video. I really went through like all of the like oval rings that make up the ammonite structure down to the point, because it basically is leading into ovals by being like this, but throughout, like here, when it started really with more of a circular thing. Okay, so that I've been looking into, coupled with Hawaii. Just and the concept that it formed as a sphere, which I still have. I should probably eat this soon. Yeah, it's getting a little questionably soft. Like maybe it's not too bad, but it's probably like on the cusp of like I should eat it soon. Um, it formed as a sphere, as I've been talking about in my recent videos. So maybe I should point that out real quick. YouTube, my channel, playlists, underground science, also Hawaii, but underground science. Not view playlist. I don't actually want to listen. Why not have this? View. And then pretty much since here I've been talking about Hawaii 81 onward, Hawaii's been like a central topic. And then like I think 61-ish around here, yeah, Wild Wild West. Like here I was talking about India, like India, all Girnar, Mount Girnar. Here is like the periodic table of currents concept, which I still haven't really finished on, but I'm still like this video actually that I'm Upheaval Dome that I've been looking into, that I was initially like going to just like, maybe I'll just like, because there's so many features here that I'm like, dude, whoa, like shallogram ammonite type things that are chakras all over, like defined chakras, and just wow. So I was kind of like, okay, so I've been talking about that kind of stuff, but a lot of it like snakes on a plane. Get it? Get it? Snakes? Because the video's about like the snake structures, and then they're like on a plane. And then just all this stuff is like related to what I'm about to talk about. So if you haven't seen it, it's like it's not like necessary, but it probably would make you less like incredulous. I mean, although maybe not. The more you listen, the more less incredulous you become. You're more willing to like, I know that made no sense, but or maybe it does start to make sense. But so, the concept that Hawaii formed as a sphere and then it physically rolled out this way and then over here and created the like deposited material on the ocean floor basically, and then broke apart the chunks, and then the inner surface of the sphere, the outer surface is rolling. The inner surface is actually Hawaii's like upper layers that we see. So it's rolling and it's stripping material, and then it gets to like the core, like the main body, and that's where, interestingly, I found the blob, this one, really closely resembles what did I just click? That the floor is lava. This here. See, I'm letting you know how it closely resembles. This here closely resembles. Okay. Which is interesting. I'm not saying it is, but it has similar features. Like here, we see a distinct chakra, like 1, 2, 3, which happens all over the place. Like over here on small and large scales. Here's 1, 1, 2, 3, like distinct, and then they have more, mind you, and there's like reasons, which is cool. Current reasons, basically, all comes down to the flows. Okay, so with those things in mind, let's get back to this like holy crap thing I just noticed. Like really, right, once I was like focused on this location, here's Yellowstone, here's Bighorn, let's pull it up. This. Or no, here, sorry, it's here. Pardon me. Bighorn from National Forest is here. This is This is, here's Yellowstone here, and then it has like an energetic connection where like a short circuit occurred between the two, it seems, across the surface, like the upper surface, and then it energetically comes over here and overlays this, like a terminal basically. This structure right here, let's get this 44.64 107.58 is 44.64 107.58 is pretty much right here. Exactly right here is here. So this thing energetically is connected to Yellowstone, overlaid by it. Right here, here's Yellowstone, which I talked about recently, having a magnetic field structure here, and how that's like is similar to this, specifically this region, where it has a row of islands and then a really defined, like the current basically dug into whatever exactly it's digging into. It might, I think the mantle, just the mantle that's like flowing out and becoming the new oceanic floor in this region. Although over here in Australia, I believe it's actually in the digging simultaneously, like upward into the overlying continental crust of Australia while this is occurring, creating all these like just all this. But then it physically slides away, and the like what was occurring is visible still in this, which I believe formed the particle of Hawaii. Like this process was literally creating Hawaii as this ammonite structure of Hawaii, like a part, like a general mass, like a just a uniform like distribution of similar masses, like basalt kind of a concept, was conglomerated here, and then the currents started to like work in individual paths and flow through and really shape the interior by opening up these like maybe protons, pretty much like spaces in which there's a container above and below like materials, but then a space so that like this is like a neutron. I don't know what just happened. That's weird that it did that. I'm still not sure what to make of like the more protons I go into, the more I'm like, this is getting difficult to match. Okay, so here though is Yellowstone, and here is that Bighorn Forest like mound that really to me looks even like if there were to be a particle like you know, like a particle resting on a cup kind of thing. Like it would kind of resemble something of this nature. Sorry, I'm probably killing myself. I was thinking I need to drink water and shit. This is just endlessly drinking coffee. Okay. But this location right here really, this is what I just noticed. Down here has that leg shape. Maybe I should measure them. It looks like this one's bigger. Way bigger. Like this is, to me, like this maybe is the one that produced specifically this. And then once Australia was moving away enough, maybe it like had a new focal point over here where it then produced the same structure, but not actually like in the same location. I'm not sure. It's so hard because it seems like it's possible that it physically overlaid like this entire region. Maybe it even went down here, like to here. And then this went down to something. I don't know. Further than just right here. In a way where for sure this is a similar structure, like nucleus to the the angel with a trident. Very much same structure. Likely, it's just so hard to piece together how things like initially were forming. Like if this was, because essentially my thought is like the actual coastline, like so much of this is accreted, like Laurentia. Deformed craton. So like this was added. And then this was probably generally more over at like the actual edge and just got kind of warped outward. Like, let's see. Like over here, how there was a current that was generally flowing essentially between the island arcs and the continent. But these island arcs weren't there yet. There because over here there was another continent. There's this continental shelf here, and so as the current went down between it, it opened up these like valves, nodes, or these structures because of a current physically flowing here, which is visible more so here, where there's this like almost like a beam coming through right through here. Here it is. Like that runs to the edge here, so right here, and then up along between the islands to where like a explosion, like where the currents are kind of getting just focused down that way. Okay. Upheaval Dome. This place is down here. So where we were just looking at the heart there is there. This is really, we can just follow this. It's out a little further. Like maybe this is pretty much the angel legs here. This region. From here down here, like especially right there, is defined. Which is interesting. Maybe that's New Mexico. Makes me think of all the UFOs in this region, honestly. Angels' legs, where they, like, put their feet down. Let's see though, what's going on? It almost looks like this is and then it's got the magnetic field with the structure with the volcanoes along the the magnetic field structure out here. Here they are. So here they're very visible here. And the magnetic field I found generally goes from Yellowstone up through here, and then it cut actually through here. It cuts between this yin yang down here between this yin yang structure, and also generally like between this yin yang. So there's a boundary of the magnetic field there that then goes up through here, basically. It seemed on here, essentially up this way. So there's a current, because of this magnetic field, it's creating a current here then that also goes out this way, but this way seems more rounded because it's probably not interacting with other currents over here as much. This is almost like pushing into pre-existing material more, like under the belly of the continental shelf, where over here it's literally new material. So this is like liquid. It's easily able to flow. Over here it's just solid material that it's like working around more so. So pretty much at this point where the current coming down this way here meets like a heavy current cutting across this way, I guess, like the center of the current generally cutting across from Europe over here from a mantle puncture hole where mantle was upwelling in all directions under the crust, which then flowed generally this way and fanned out and crossed into North America, fanning out, then was running into a current coming this way, creating a swirl, which ballooned out this region pretty much. Like a lot participated in really ballooning this region, maybe before this was even quite as defined. I'm not sure. Like in the early phases of the forming, basically this region here, maybe. Let's take this over this way, this way, this way. Is it possible that this fed into like all of this? I don't know. But then these systems are basically novaing, which then puncture the outer boundary, like polygonal boundary of the Rentia, of the craton, and allow for the current to get into the craton more by the novas that are just like pretty much just lava is just gushing in all directions with so much force that it can break through like thick resistances in the continental crust that was already existing and then fill in. Like it's not It's not just like a full container. It's got porosity. It's got capacity to fill, so it flowed in once it was able to. But in order to be able to, it had to like break through the boundary here with like these novas, 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 nova, 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 and then it breaks through the boundary at some point and is able to fill in here, and it flows in with this way, this way. So maybe it was more so going underneath it when it flowed this way. Then like within it until it reached this side and upwelled maybe from below. I don't know. It's hard to say exactly. That doesn't really make sense. I think it was flowing within some layer, that's some general layer like the moho boundary above the moho. That then this was traveling above the moho, generally speaking. But there was certainly continental crust here, so maybe it did, by being like a sufficient craton, like deflect around it a bit and cause currents to go this way and this way. Which is very reminiscent, now that I think about it, of the video I watched yesterday about the floor is lava. Not, the floor is lava. This one. Where basically this video begins with a lava flow coming in the side here and just filling this region. It just starts filling it. Filling, 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 and then at some point it physically, maybe I should just go here. Here we go. Let's just watch a little bit. So it just starts pouring out right there. It's literally just pouring out. Maybe let's watch the first bit of that. It looks almost like there was a second hole down there. Like maybe it's coming out there too. And then it comes out there. So there's like 3 openings maybe. I only saw this one and I thought this was flowing across here. Not completely sure. Oh, that's a good image. Maybe like a little bit of outflow there, some outflow there. Most outflow here though. This is where like the majority of the current is. At least at this stage. Although this does look pretty like a substantial enough current. And then, whoa, I didn't notice that because I didn't notice there were 2 currents. It's like they merge like right here. Like the energy, something, that structure right there, and then it like blink. And then this is what I was getting at, is there's a general current cutting across this mass and then like a craton, and it goes around it, but then the currents loop around it and reconverge right here and just start like shaping the rock, shape, until, and moving it, like moving it over into position. Pretty much just creating the equilibrium that then it doesn't have quite the same effect here, but it's still doing it here. Oop, I got family here. So, like, maybe something of that nature was going on here, where it was a current, really like a current cutting across this way that also, like, physically wrapped around by wrapping around this way, around the pole, and coming in. Basically a secondary current coming in around the craton and then hugging it like that to like hold on to it. So maybe that's related to this. Like generally, like what was going on with the Rencha? Like it went around. It's, so it went around this way and around this way, and then it deformed this region. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go. I'll see you all when I do a more upheaval dome focus one. Now that I didn't expect to see that like angel in North America thing. Alright, see you all soon.